Today we'll talk about the 8051 microcontroller. Basically, any product or device that interacts with its user has a microcontroller buried inside. The Intel 8051 is a very popular general purpose microcontroller and it's widely used for small scale embedded systems. There are many vendors such as the Philips and the Texas Instruments which produces the MCS51 family microcontroller chips. Now coming to what is an embedded system, now it's a closely integrated system within the main system as you can see in the figure. It cannot interact directly with the environment generally, and the main aim is that microcontrollers are embedded inside some other devices so that they can control the features or actions of the product. That's why the another name of microcontroller is also an embedded controller. Now, an embedded product uses a microprocessor or a microcontroller to do one task only, and that's why there's only one application software that is burnt into the ROM. Now, these days microprocessors are hidden inside a surprising number of products. Now, if your microwave oven has an LED or a LCD and has a keypad, it contains a microcontroller. Now, comparing the microprocessor and the microcontroller, now, a microprocessor must add the RAM, ROM, IO ports, the timers externally to make them functional, and this makes the system much more bulkier as well as expensive. Now, it has its own advantage of versatility on the amount of RAM, ROM, and the IO ports. Now, if we talk about the microcontroller, the fixed amount of on-chip RAM, ROM, and number of IO ports makes it ideal for many other applications where cost and space are important, which means that typically they differ in terms of where these resources lie, whether they are internal or external. Now, there are three major criteria for choosing a microcontroller: meeting the computing needs of the task efficiently and cost effectively. Now, in this, the speed, ease to upgrade, and cost per unit is important. Now, easy availability of the software development tools is important for the developers. The wide availability and reliable sources of the microcontrollers is also very important for developing the system overall. Coming to the 8051 basic components, 8051 is an 8-bit microcontroller with 8-bit data bus and 16-bit address bus. It has a 4K bytes of internal ROM, 128 bytes of internal RAM, 4 8-bit IO ports, two 16-bit timers or counters, and it also has one serial interface. Now if we compare the 8051 family members, the major difference lies in terms of ROM, RAM, timers, interrupt sources, IO pins, as well as the other differences. Now not going into its detail. Now coming to the block diagram, we can simply see here that the whole configuration is thought to satisfy needs of most of the programmers working on development of automation, which means that system has been designed in such a way that everything has been covered, and it has been created in accordance of average users' tastes and needs. Now other advantages such as RAM organization and CPU control are also provided in this. Other 8051 features includes that it has only one chip oscillator, 6 interrupt sources, 64K external code which is only read, 64K external data memory which is done by read and write, code memory selectable by EA, and we may have external memory as data as well as the code. Now coming to the 8051 footprint, there are generally four major ports. Port 0, which is from pins 32 to 39. Port 1 is there from pin 1 to 8. 2 is there from pins 21 to 28, and 3 is there from pins 10 to 17. Now the reset is a negative logic pin, which means that positive voltage on the pin resets the microcontroller. Now coming to the other important pins, there's the program store enable, which is there to read the signal from the external program memory. The address latch enable is there to latch the address outputs as port 0 and port 2. There's the external access enable, which enables activate load to access external program memory from location 0 to 4K. Now this simply means that if we apply 0 to this pin, P2 and P3 are used for the data and address transmission, and no regard of the internal memory is made there. Now I hope you enjoyed the video.